Hey guys, how are you going? Today we are going to go over a red-blue launch build that I have been ever so slowly working on. Launch is going to start winning through the power of sneezing. And yes, it's even COVID safe. Yeah, I'm sorry for that one. That wasn't a good joke. Alright, let's just move on and talk about our leader. So, Launch has an auto on both sides of the card, which is a once per turn. When you combo with the card, you get a draw a card, which is really nice. Then Launch has a second auto on both sides. When a card in your life is flipped face up by one of your red card's skills, you may flip this card over. If you do, draw one, and you can't flip your leader to the front for the turn. And on the back side, it says you can't flip your leader to the back for the turn. So, it is quite a good card. You're going to be comboing a lot, you're going to be flipping a lot, and you get a lot of combo power, and you cycle through your deck extremely well. And then on the back side, there is a secondary auto. When this card attacks, you want to choose one of your opponent's cards and gets negative 5k power for the turn. Now, a couple quick things I am going to say about the leader to optimally play is you want, on your turn, you want to attack with your leader, and then by the end of the turn, so you want to attack the leader on your backside, and then by the end of the turn, you want to be on your front side. And on your opponent's turn, you want to start on the front side, be at the end, be on the backside. This is so you don't have to combo as much to get out of attacks on your opponent's turn, and you get the attacking auto on your turn. So if you go first, basically every single turn of the game, you want to flip your leader over. If you go second, you want to miss a flip on like your first turn, and that's basically it. So that's just quickly about the leader. Let's move on to the cards that actually flip our leader over. So all of these 11 cards we run, I know it's a fair bit, but you do kind of need it because you want to flip it every turn. So all these 11 cards flip our leader over, and they all have the same order, which is if your leader card is a red earthling only card with 10k power or less. When this card is used in a combo, flip up to one card in your life face up, and at the end of the turn, flip all face up cards in your life face down. Now, the SR and the promo launch also have a second part of the effect to this, which is you can't activate the auto skills. You can't activate the auto skills on copies of this card for the turn. Not too important. It just means that for the promo, you can't also get the effect to neg something by 5k. But anyway, that's those cards. Now they all have additional effects. The SR, which is your best option, has an activate battle. If your leader is a red earthling card with 5k power, combo with this card from your drop. At the end of the battle, you send this card to your warp. Very, very good skill. It allows you, essentially, if you find all four, you get 20k more combo power a game, which is honestly quite impactful. And then you have Bulma, Confident Friend. When this card is played, you get a draw one. It's nice. It means you can basically, for one card and one energy, lose one card in hand, draw three. So it's quite good. You do end up with a lot of cards in hand, which is why it's at 4. And then Launch Feminine Wilds is our last one, which is, its auto is okay. We mainly just run it for another flipper, which says if your leader card is a red earthling card, when you combo, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 5k power for the battle. So it's alright, but you don't use it too much because it is quite easy for people to remove. Moving on, we are running a red-blue version, which means we're running a large arrival package. Now, we run 4 Beerus Divine Obliterator Super Combo, which says if your leader is red or blue and it's your opponent's turn, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one of your red-blue multicolor energy and switch it to active mode. Very, very good card, because what ends up happening all the time when you combo with it, you get a draw because of the leader effect, and then you get a draw, and then you get an untap one, and then you're ready to a rival. And we've got some amazing rival targets here. We have we've got 4 Cooler Tyrannical Salts, which are double strikes, and for 1 a red energy, your rival. When this card is played, your opponent places the top card of their deck in their drop. Then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and they get neg 10k power for the duration of the turn. Very, very lovely. And then we've got 2 Cooler Suffocating Tyranny, which is a new one that's coming out in the regional promos, the Champ Pack promos, and it is very good. So it's Arrival for 3, you need 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 of anything. When this card is played or attacks, your opponent places the top card of the deck in their drop. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets neg 25k power for the turn. So you want to Arrival with it defensively to essentially stop an attack or stop 2 attacks, because your super combo is stopping 1, and then the order to stop another. It is also a triple striker, which is very important. Then it has an additional order. At the end of your turn, you may return this card to its owner's hand. If you do, switch up to 1 of your red or blue energy to active mode. Now this is very good, because essentially what's going to happen is you're going to super combo, Arrival this out, and then by the end of your opponent's next turn, if you haven't lost it by then, you can return it back to your hand, untap an energy, and get ready to Arrival it again on your opponent's next turn. Meaning you're not really losing cards in hand, and it's a consistent cycle. However, we only run 2 of these in the deck because it does cost 3 to Arrival. Now some more of our red-blue cards. We have 2 Hercule and Majin Buu, Friends Forever, which costs 1 blue to Arrival and has an order. When you play this card, draw 1, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards. It gets neg 10 for the duration of the turn. Then at the end of the turn, you get to choose 1 of your red or blue cards other than Hercule and Majin Buu and return it to your hand. It would be amazing if we could turn Hercule and Majin Buu to our hands, but that's okay. Now, it's a very, very strong card. I don't want to talk too much about it, take up too much time, but it draws a card, so it replaces itself, which is really important, and it negs 10, and it's just a nice 19k beta. Then we've got Mecha Freezer Energy Blight, which is just a check land, so if you've got a red-blue card in your energy, when you charge it, it negates its energy exhaust skill. And then the last red-blue card we have in here is Beerus Ball, which is a counterplay that your life unfortunately has to be 4 or less to use. However, it is still a very good counterplay, so the card being played is 15k power or less. It's placed in its owner's drop instead of being played. And then if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to 1 of your leader cards, and it gets 5k power for the turn. So it's kind of like a bean in that sense, but it also stops an opposing your opponent's card from being played. So for example, like a Vegeta switching gears, you can stop on your opponent's turn and give your leader 5k, which is very impactful against King Vegeta. But if they're playing stuff on your turn, you can stop Heroic Prospect, you can stop Gohan's Baby Minions, you can stop the new Oceanus negate, you can stop Mecha Freezer Riposte. There are a lot of negates you can stop with Beerus Ball, and I think right now in this format it is a very good card to have. It's also got a permanent. If you have a multicolor card in your energy, which we most certainly will, and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying the energy cost. Now unfortunately you do have to be at 4 or less life to activate this, so you'll be putting yourself quite low, but is a good flex option. Moving on, we have some of our mono red battle cards. Now, launch as a red-blue launch, like specifically red-blue launch as a deck, not the tricolor, because the tricolor was a bit better at this, but red-blue launch as a deck never really had too much to do on its own turn to really use its energy wisely. So I've tried to mitigate that with these 3 different cards. So we have 1 launch, Brown County's Most Wanted. Now this is one that you really haven't seen in launch decks, but I've liked playing with the idea of having it as a one-of. So if your leader is a red Earthling card only, when your leader card is flipped to the backside, you may play this card from your hand. Now remember, I was talking about you only want to flip onto the backside on your opponent's turn. However, you can play around a little bit if you want to push this on your turn, but playing this on your opponent's turn is still pretty good because it has its second order. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less and KO it. Now, I'm going to do a bit of talking here, so don't mind me too much. 15k power is a good number. It's a lot better than 10. Gets rid of a lot of support. Battle cards, doesn't get rid of too many battle cards themselves. However, because of the way just launch works and it's a 10k leader, a lot of time 15k battle cards are quite impactful to get rid of. Now, a couple more things. So if you can neg something first and then play this to just means we can get rid of like a 25k. However, you have to do it as soon as it's flipped. So you won't be able to combo with a flipper, essentially draw to flip, combo with like your super combo and then Arrival something. You're going to have to super combo on your front side before flipping to the back. And that's fine, because a lot of the time in the turns, especially when you want to use this, and you want to use it like heavily defensively, you're going to be losing like 3 cards in a turn. Like you're going to be comboing at least 3 cards in a turn anyway, which means that at the end of the turn you would have comboed with 3 and drawn 3, and if you did it the other way, you still would have comboed 3, drawn 3. You just got the full effect of launch. So that's why we have it in there. It is quite a spicy one of in the deck. Then we have Son Goku Divine Presence, which is a really good card in this deck. So activate battle for 2 red. If you have 3 or more energy and you have 2 or more red battle cards in your combo area, we've got that all the time. Play this card from your hand, then choose up to 1 of your mono red cards, and it gets 5k power for the turn. So a lot of the times you're going to choose Son Goku Divine Presence because it is a 20k dual attack, so that'll make it a 25k dual attack. However, it has a second order. When this card attacks, add up to 1 red skills battle card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This card gets 5k power for the turn. So he's a big beater. Ends up being a 30k double strike on the turn you play him. 30k dual attack on the turn you play him. We've got beans to even push that even higher. However, on your on the following turns will end up being a 25k dual attacker. Now, it is important to note that when it attacks, it also adds a red skills card to hand. We don't run any red skills, so that isn't too helpful for us. However, it has a permanent saying this card can't be removed from battle area by skills during a turn, which is extremely impactful. It means you can't run Heartfelt Plea, but we don't awaken anyway, so we don't worry about Heartfelt Plea. But it means no Freezer Charismatic Villain, which is honestly quite nice. However, you can still neg it, because what will happen when a card is negged is it then gets removed by the skill, but the card says no, but then it'll be removed by the game mechanic afterwards. Next, we're talking about Surprise Attack Son Gohan. A very similar activate battle, however it's just 1 red and they have to be mono red battle cards. But anyway, you get to play it, so it becomes a 20k beater and also neg 10s one of your opponent's battle cards, which does come very impactful, and it also just wipes like a lot of small things that just help your opponent set up. Very, very good cards we've got there. Moving on to some more battle cards. These are more like tech options and just versatility cards. We have 2 Sun SSB Kaioken Son Goku Concentrated Destruction. Everyone should know what this card does by now, but when you play this card, from your hand choose all your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less and KO them, so it's a board wipe. Or activate main if your leader is red and you place this card from your hand in your drop, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets negative 25k power for the turn. So it can either just like full on just kill something, or you can wipe their board. It's very nice. Then you got Broly Crown of Retribution. If your leader is red when you play this card from your hand, if your opponent has 2 or more energy in active mode, your opponent reveals their hand and you choose up to 1 battle card with from it with 20k power or less and place it in your opponent's drop area. A little bit of hand instruction, but it is mainly just a I don't want you to have a super combo, or I don't want you to have that battle card negate, or something along those lines. It is a very good card to run, and if you don't need it in a certain matchup, you can just combo it away. And then finally, we have Furthering Destruction Champa. I think every deck needs at least 1 Champa. It's just such a good card. Moving on to some red extra cards we run on the deck. We have 2 Frieza's Death Ball. Frieza's Death Ball, if your leader is red, choose up to 1 of your leader or battle cards and it gets 15k power for the duration of the battle. Then if all your energy is red, note it doesn't say mono red, when you activate this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's leader or battle cards, it gets neg 10k power for the battle. So if you're not being attacked or not attacking a unison or not attacking with a unison, this becomes a 25k combo power card for 1 energy. Such a powerful card. And because of the fact we're running red blue but we're not actually charging any mono blue, in situations you can beer us into this, which means you're getting 35k combo power for no energy, and a lot of time, because when you combo you draw a card, so net -1 cards in hand. It's a ridiculous combo. Those 2 cards together is very ridiculous, and this becomes a very, very good card. Moving on, we've got 3 Violent Rays. Now, launch is a small leader, being 10k. So, being able to make your opponent not be able to attack with stuff over 20k is very helpful against decks that go that little bit wider and that little bit taller. So, we've got 3 of them in here. And then finally, we have We Are U7, where you get to choose 1 card. So, you choose one. You either choose up to 1 U7 card from your drop area and add it to your hand, or you choose up to one U7 card with an energy cost of 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. So you can search your deck for a super combo, or you can search your deck for a Kaioken, or you can add a super combo or Kaioken back from the drop. All our U7 targets, which I will quickly go back and show off. So our U7 targets, we have Beerus Divine Obliterator. We have Son Goku Divine Presence and Surprise Attack Gohan. And I believe, and we have, we've got SSB Kaioken Concentrated Destruction. And that is all of which are under the energy cost of 4. So you can play We Are U7 and search your deck for any of those if you would like them, or you can grab them back from your drop. So it's either a 5th super combo, a 3rd Kaioken, or a 3rd Goku/Gohan. So very, very powerful card. Moving on to some of our non-red battle cards, just our other coloured cards. We've got 4 Sensu Beans. We are running blue, and Sensu Beans are a very good card, so we're running 4 Sensu Beans. We've got 3 combo attack coolers. You gotta choose, activate battle, choose 1 red or blue Freezer's Clan card in your battle area other than combo attack cooler, and return it to its owner's hand, and you get to play this card. So you get to return a cooler Tyrannical Assault. So there are some nasty combos you can do with those 2 cards. I will say there are some very nasty combos. You can neg some guys a lot of power. It can get quite ridiculous if I'm being entirely honest, but that's all good. And then it's got auto. When this card attacks, choose up to 1 red or blue, red-blue multicolored card in your drop area and combo with it. So when this card is attacked or attacks, so on your turn it's a 25k beater. But the more important thing to note is, like, if you swing, just say you don't have too much to swing with it and you have a combo attack caller on the board, you swing with your leader first and you combo a launch card and you get a draw 2. That's great. And then you swing combo attack cooler, you combo with the Beerus the drop, you get a draw 1. So it ends up being very nasty. So yeah, draws you a lot of cards. And then we have 2 Great Ape Son Goku Saiyan Instinct. Now, this is a card that you can just combo with, leave in your drop, and eventually get to and use later on in the game. Now, for 2 energy, you send this card from your drop area to your warp, and you draw 2 cards. So you end up, for 2 energy and 1 card in hand, you get to draw 3, because you combo with this and draw a card. So it is a very good card, and as I said, a lot of the times you don't know really what to do with your energy on your turn, so having this allows you to just draw a couple more cards. And then finally, we have our black battle cards. We've got 1 Koitsukai Mechanical Courage. I really want to up this to 2. I don't know what else to take out. I really do like the Draw Apes in here, so I don't really want to touch a Draw Ape. So let me know what you think I should take out to add a Koitsukai. Currently it's at 54 cards. Could I go up to 55 and have honestly consider it, considering Koitsukai is just a card that cycles cards, so it's like you're seeing it doesn't really do anything because you're going to combo it, draw a card. So have toyed with 55 and 2 Koitsukais, because Koitsukai is an amazing card for those who don't know. You activate main, remove this card from your drop area from the game, then choose 2 cards in your hand, place them at the bottom of your deck in any order, and it's up to 2 cards. Then draw cards equal to the number of cards you place at the bottom of your deck with this skill. Then for the turn, if your opponent plays a battle card with 20k power or less, they choose 2 cards from the hand and send them to the warp. Whew, a lot of text on that bad boy. Basically what that means, if your opponent wants to rival anything, if your opponent wants to counterplay with anything, or negate with something, you Koitsukai, and they have to warp 2 every time they do that. It is a very, very nasty card. But next we have SS4 Bardock Fighting Against Fate. He is simply a dual attack Overwhelm 6 for 25k power. Very nasty card. Don't need to say more about him. He is a amazing Overwhelm. And then finally we have Supreme Kai of Time, Space, Time, Unraveler. Ultimate permanent, if this card will be removed from the game, from your battle area, remove it. So if this card will be removed from the battle area, remove it from the game instead, then choose this, activate main, choose this card and all of your opponent's battle cards and unisons and send them to their owners. Warp, but you may be wondering, how do we get it out? Well, activate battle if you've got 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. If you do, your opponent can't attack with leaders or unisons for the turn. So it is a very good defensive card. However, it doesn't really, it's a defensive card, it's 40k beater. I don't know why I said however, this is like the best card in the game. It's a turn ender, it's a 40k beater, and it's a board wipe. All in one for 2 energy in total. Very, very nasty card. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over some matchups that I have in my head with this. If you're playing against a blue deck, you have Koisakai, you have Broly Crown or Retribution. You want to be using these two cards to survive, to like punish them for wanting to do anything on your turn. And you just want to try to push through them early. We have more cards to do that with a new UI Goku and Gohan. You just want to push the point against them. Next, you've got decks like King Vegeta. Against King Vegeta, you would love to Beerus Ball a switching gears if at all possible. But if not, you essentially want to use a super combo to like out combo a crit attack, and then you want to arrival in a cooler to neg 10 on whatever their next attack is and a switching gears, so they can't attack with switching gears, and you end up with a lot of net value for 2 cards in hand that you drew 1 for. So that is a very, very good play. Now there is that really aggro turn 2 King Vegeta deck. Against that, you want to try to keep a super combo and you want to try to keep a cooler in hand, and that's your best bet against that. And you'll be able to survive a lot better than some people think. What other decks are out there at the moment? Against Dark Broly, you just want to push. You want to push hard, and you want to Violent Ray. You want to keep all your Violent Rays, and you want to use your Violent Rays. Don't use it turn 2. You want to use it turn 3. That's about Dark Broly now. The other thing against Dark Broly is expect Belmont. They do run Belmont, so that's another card to expect. What other decks are out there? Against like a stall deck, against Hatch, you just lose. Sad, but it is true. You don't have enough. You don't have a Unison, which is like the best way to beat Hatch at the moment. But you also just don't have enough power. Like your leader doesn't put on enough pressure to really push through. And you don't really have any answers to their Gogeta thwarting the Dark Empire. So when they drop that on turn 4, you are in a lot of trouble. I'm trying to think what other decks are out there at the moment. Against SS4 Vegeta, it's just another blue deck. But Launch is very good against mid-range decks. It's not very... and it's decent against aggro decks as well. It's not very good against your stall decks, like your decks that try win turn 6 onwards. It's very good for the decks that try win turn 3 and 4, because a lot of negging power, and it's got a lot of crackback. Yeah, but not so good against those turn 6, 7 win decks. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my deck profile. Let me know what you think. Leave a like, comment, subscribe down below, and let me know what deck you want to see next. I have plans for decks. I just have to build them and like me proof them, because a lot of times I have like, oh, that's a cool concept, and it's actually really dumb and no one wants to see it. So gotta me proof stuff first. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.